So I've put over 420 miles on the fantastic 2021 Kawasaki ZX-10R, and now it's time for Zach, the master mechanic, to give it its first service. Zach, these things are similar but different.
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. There's so many changes. So you can see we have the same color, same model year, S1000RR motorcycle, but one has been treated to Moto Million 650 Eve special treatment.
Yes.
And the other one's bone stock from the factory.
Yes.
One of the very first things we did was install the underslung Brembo caliper with the bracket made by TWN so that it made it possible, which moves our center of gravity in and makes for a much easier tire change. We had to change the brake line with that.
Yep.
And then you can see while you're there looking at some awesome carbon fiber. We covered the swing arm with carbon fiber protective covers.
From full six.
From full six. Everything on this bike is full six.
Yes.
And it has the full six tire hugger that just has a regular plastic one.
Yep.
Then next thing that sticks right out is the exhaust right away. Yeah. Giant ugly can. You can see the whole exhaust. Big muffler hanging out the back.
Oh yeah.
We went with a super shorty Aero full titanium system covered by the full six full body pan, and we even did install this with the stock exhaust. You can see it has the cutout for the cap back there.
Yes, it
and
does.
that just helps keep our titanium exhaust system cool too. So
yes,
that's not a bad thing because the byproduct of horsepower is heat. So we got lots of that.
Yes.
And then while you're cruising above the exhaust there, you can see we have a fully adjustable rear set.
Yep.
By Light Tech.
It's gorgeous.
You can move the foot peg up and down. You can move the brake pedal. You can go forward, backwards on your needs, and these are the spring-loaded ones still, so I don't know if you like that. If not, you can get a solid peg also.
Yes.
I usually only like the solid peg, but these feel very solid because of the way the spring is. You don't notice the spring, but it is a little forgiving if you're backing up the bike.
Yeah.
That's the one thing when you have the solid mount pegs and you're backing up your bike and you hit it with your leg.
Yeah.
That can hurt you a little bit. Then just some little engine dress-up pieces. We have TWM, oil fill. It's got holes in it if we needed to safety wire it. We didn't track prep this bike. It never went to the racetrack, so the TWM crankshaft cover. And then one of the big things, the full six winglets, which are available as a kit. They come with a template. Not too hard to install. Just need to take your time. Make sure you get the template lined up. Our stock bike has nothing. It's just plain.
And it is, yeah.
You can also see our rondelle sticking out a little bit.
Yes.
And that's because we illuminated it behind it.
That's gorgeous.
And it also acts as a turn signal.
It's beautiful.
And stays on for a little bit when you shut the bike off, so it looks cool.
It does.
Of course, we've got the full six fender. No more reflectors. We're waiting on a brake system upgrade. That should be coming. We got rid of the stock clear windscreen for a WRS with the double bubble type. You can see it's way taller if you can catch both.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah.
A lot taller, a lot more aero for you to get behind and tuck in behind. One thing before we get too far away, we did have this cool billet aluminum, and it's got the RR on it throttle housing, which also switches our buttons to Nintendo type style buttons.
Yes.
And since it was just this side, it's still pretty easy to control. The only thing you got is your heated grips in the mode. Yes. Everything else is still done with the
Wonder Wheel.
Wonder Wheel there.
Yes.
And then while we're up top here, we got a full six airbox cover with some custom paint work.
Oh yeah, by our friend King David.
Yep. And TWM quick release gas cap makes it nice and easy for those fuel fills at the pump or at the track.
Yes.
Our latest addition is the full monocoque carbon fiber rear tail section. So it's the subframe tail section all in one. Still has the mounting for our NRC tail tidy. As you can see, this is how we started. Yes. BMW's actually is not that obtrusive. Once you go in and look at the, if we're doing a new bike build series video later on too, when you see that one on the Kawasaki, this is tiny.
Yes. And this is absolutely nothing. This is beautiful. Yeah. And then we saw how when it's activated, those the lights kind of.
Yeah. And this is also a brake light, turn signal. Where the stock BMW one uses this as your brake light and turn signal. It is a little confusing. This is not as confusing. You could still have the, if you're hitting your brake light at the same time, but I don't know, just try not to do that.
Yeah, that looks great.
But yeah, that was one of the very first things we did, and it worked on our new subframe, which helped us get this bike down to that 411 pounds.
There you go.
So there's our frame. Oh, there's the air filter right to the side there, that red piece.
Yes.
There's just a little bit of red. So we can see straight through in this bike to our Sprint air filter, which of course we know is good for a horsepower or so. Where if we look in this bike, you can see the frame. And then behind the frame, we can't see anything.
Right.
Because there's a little flapper, it's like a trap door. It actually opens really fast. It's pretty fun to watch. If you guys have one of these, have your buddy rev it and look down there. It opens really quick. But yeah, so we eliminated all that. We also put block-off plates on top of the valve cover to eliminate our secondary air system, which helps give us better air-fuel ratio readings on a dyno. Yes. And helps with the cold start issue that this bike has still from the factory. I don't know why they haven't fixed that yet.
Yeah.
And some are worse than others. I can't figure that one out. Doesn't make any sense.
No.
But yeah, this is just kind of a video. We wanted to show you guys the differences that we've completed between a stock bike.
Yes.
This isn't the full tally yet, but
nope, still more to come.
Thought we'd take a minute to show. Oh, we got these other front turn signals from NRC. Still on the fence on them, but I don't hate them as much. So we unplugged our stock turn signals because we didn't want to have 3 sets of turn signals.
Right.
And we wanted to be able to remove the mirrors if we wanted to.
Yes.
So if you don't like running mirrors or you run a bar end mirror, this is an option to keep you some front turn signals if that bothers you for some reason.
Can we hear this thing?
Yes. Come over here, you can see we have our intake temperature display. We moved our intake air temp sensor up into the nose also, which gives us a truer reading of the outside temperature. And that's a cold start. You can hear it's not starting and stalling at all.
Right.
Because it has a full red tuning package on it.
Yes.
But it's got a nice little snarl to it, even at idle.
Wow. Beautiful bike, Zach. Beautiful bike.
Yeah.
Especially when compared to the stock one.
Yeah, it looks a lot more narrow. Maybe catch that rear view.
Yeah.
It's very slimmed up from behind.
Yes. Gorgeous, gorgeous bike.
You can look right through the wheels on that one. This one, you see all the big spokes.
Yeah. Very, very cool, Zach.
Yeah.
Almost time to offer it to somebody, and they'll have between that or the RSV4 1100 factory to choose. And something tells me we'll be hanging on to that RSV4 yet again.
I'm thinking so. I mean, it'd really be tough not to choose that BMW. It came out really amazing with the paint work and the carbon fiber pieces. And once we get that brake system on there, I mean, there's just not much you could have to complain about, you know?
Right.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back into the shop for the next new bike build series video with our Kawasaki KRT ZX-10R. It's in for its first service. You got some miles on it, huh?
Over 420, sir.
Wow. Let's check it out.
Yeah.
On our nice TFT display.
Finally.
422 miles. Cool.
There we go.
Pretty much anything over 400, I think we're good to go on the first service. They want to see it around 600, but I couldn't find a service manual because the bike's so new.
Yes.
But we could go off the 2020 owner's manual, which I was able to find on Kawasaki's website pretty easily. And that'll tell us what the oil specification is and where everything's at. We also started peeling off these stickers, and we found out that they did something nice. It has a foil backing on it, so it doesn't just completely pull off into little tiny pieces and leave a residue. Actually, once you pull them off, they're gone.
So no goof off required.
Yeah, no goof off required. So we'll get rid of those. After we get the oil changed, I think we'll see how we can get this rider seat off and see what kind of battery's in here. I don't know if it's lithium, if it's not. I'm gonna guess it's not, but you never know. That might be a quick way for us to save 10 pounds right off the bat.
Yeah, because this thing is 400 and was it 50?
It was 459, and then I looked up on the website too the other day. This has a 4.5 gallon fuel tank, which is a little bit bigger than the rest of them. I think the Beamer was 4.3. They're all 4.3 to 4.5, so that can equate for a little bit of the weight. And then their stock weight they had listed as 452, but it says that was with 90% more or more fuel. So they might have been right at the 90%, and that would make up for that little variance, because that's actually pretty close.
Sure.
But let's go ahead and get this motorcycle warmed up. We can hear how it sounds in stock form. Since we're stuck inside with the doors closed, we got to put the exhaust fan on, but I'm sure it's not going to be this quiet for long.
No.
And then just like all the other bikes, while it's warming up, we'll go ahead and go through a safety check, make sure that all the lights work, turn signals, front, rear. Horn, hazard lights, high beam operation,
Yep.
brake lights. The all-important side stand cutout, and then once we put it back up, with it in gear, we should be able to start the bike with the clutch in. We can. So passed all our safety inspections, that's good.
Nice.
So we got some grayish oil coming out. Looks like lots of stuff was breaking in and meshing together.
Okay.
No big chunks of metal, so that's all right, but lots of fine particles. That's why you want to get the break-in service done. So.
Yes.
And we're going to be using Motul 300V.
My favorite.
Yeah. So if we come over, like I said, I found the owner's manual for the previous year. So what we're checking is everything at this one, the first service, which is 600 miles. So they want us to check the idle speed, throttle control. We already did that, it's good. Coolant level, we'll take a quick peek at that. Clutch operation, that's good. Drive chain, we'll take a look at that. And then brakes, brake light switch, we did that. And the next page, yeah, somewhere there should have been oil change. Oh, right here, oil change, we needed to change it, so.
Okay.
And then once we get past this, it has our specification right here. We can use Kawasaki Performance 4-stroke oil, we could use semi-synthetic, or we could use full synthetic. Our Honda oil filter wrench fits on the Kawasaki filter, so that's
It does?
nice. Yeah.
This thing has titanium headers. You know that?
Does it?
Yeah, look at those things. The older ones had them too.
Really? I did not know that. So we got our new filter out of the box. Nice and clean. A little bit of the old oil, just go around the rubber seal, and we'll wipe off the face of the engine. It doesn't get much easier for an oil change than this. You don't have to pull any of the side fairings. And the oil filter's right on the bottom, not pouring oil on the exhaust. That is pretty cool. Get it started on the threads by hand always. It should spin nice and easy. If it doesn't, you probably have it cross-threaded. Reverse thrust and try again.
Yeah.
Get it snugged up as good as you can by hand, and then back to our filter wrench for final tightening. I believe we have a torque spec for that too. Don't know if I'm going to be able to fit a torque wrench in there though. And I generally don't torque the oil filters because I don't know, I've just done it so long. I got a good feel for when an oil filter's tight but not over tight.
Yeah.
You don't want to, if you can over tighten an oil filter and it's nearly impossible to get off the bike then. That is for sure. All right, that'll be good. That's not going anywhere. Got out the good old trusty grunge brush. Clean off some of the residual factory lubricant and just sticky mess. We'll replace it with our chain lube with Molly in it. A little bit cleaner, doesn't fling everywhere, but still keeps your chain and sprockets nice and lubricated. So we got lucky, the valve stem's actually in a spot where I can put air in the front tire. And then to make it even easier, Kawasaki's got right angle valve stems installed for us.
Nice.
They are clocked in an odd direction, but you know what? That's not the first time I've seen this, and I don't think you have either, in a Kawasaki. I don't know why they don't put them straight out. It's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
all right, we'll go with it.
Okay.
All right, so we're just filling up the engine crankcase with our Motul 300V oil. We have a nice sight glass.
Oh, so it doesn't have a dipstick like the Honda?
Not a dipstick.
Okay.
Got me
An
all
actual
excited
sight
there. I
glass.
flinched. You
Yeah.
can see we have our awesome green oil.
Perfect match.
Yep. you come here, you can see our coolant level.
Yes.
Can you get the camera in there?
Yep.
You can see we're right above the minimum line, so that's good.
Okay.
And just kind of walk around, and I like to look at the bike while it's running with the flashlight, make sure nothing's leaking, there's no signs of anything leaking. Shock looks good, it's not leaking or anything. No obvious nuts and bolts that are missing or backed out. Brake pads look like brand new, as they should. All right, everything looks good. Shut it off, let it sit for about another minute. We'll double check the oil level, top off if necessary. Otherwise, I'd say it's a successful first service. No glaring issues that we need to take care of.
Nice.
And the bike's good to go down the road or on the dyno. So it looks like in the rear we have a bracket we could just remove here with a couple of bolts. Up front, I think we can just unscrew these. It doesn't look terrible.
It does not. It looks better than having a reflector there, so.
I might have some bolts left over from our Ninja H2 build. Let me look around and I might be able to replace these front fender bolts with something that looks like this.
Okay.
But for now, we'll leave it. If I find them, we'll pop them in there.
Yep.
If not, we're probably getting a different fender anyway, right?
Yep, carbon.
YTZ-10 battery in here. This is a pretty heavy battery. This is probably 8 or 9 pound battery.
Wow.
If not 10. So if we get a 2 pound lithium,
Yes.
that's 8 pounds gone right there.
Yep.
Got a giant exhaust servo motor. Hopefully we can get rid of that thing. It looks like it's made out of steel. Spectacular. Here's a seat bolt. Oh yeah, there was Loctite on them.
Wow.
Why? Just to be a pain. You can see how big the fuel tank is here. Fuse boxes underneath here, starter relay. Looks like our ECU is up underneath here.
Yes, it is.
So that's pretty easy access.
Yep.
What do we get in the toolkit on this?
An Allen wrench.
It feels like a little more than the Honda. We get the Allen wrench.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, good luck getting your seat off with that Allen wrench. That'll never happen.
Right.
Oh, we get a screwdriver. The multi-purpose. Either
Nice. Flathead.
flathead
Yeah.
or number 2 Phillips. Because I'm sure there's maybe 1 Phillips screw on here somewhere.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough. I don't know, I don't see any. All right, but, well, that satisfied my curiosity. I just wanted to see. So
Yes.
that's something cool. That's a quick, easy 8 pounds probably. Maybe at least 6 pounds off this bike.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to get a speed cell or some kind of battery on the way here.
Yep.
And yeah, that'll wrap it up for today.
Okay.
Thanks for checking out our first service on the Kawasaki, and then stay tuned for Eve's video on the dyno shootout. Can't
Yes.
wait to see all the numbers this new crop of bikes.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Catch you guys in the next video.
Thanks, Zach. So if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, tap that bell, and you will get notified when new content is uploaded. What a difference between our Moto Million Edition S1000RR and a bone stock Hockenheim Silver S1000RR. We're going to talk a lot more about this bike, and it's going to be offered along with our Aprilia RSV4 1100 factory. I get the feeling somebody's going to choose this bike over the Aprilia yet again. I mean, look at all these amazing parts on it, from the full 6 carbon fiber subframe and the airbox cover that was painted by King David to every other part of this bike. The Rotobox bullet wheels, everything is just beautiful on this machine. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. We'll catch you next time on the 650 Eve YouTube channel. 2 beautiful machines, but that one, absolutely stunning.